Good evening to all of you. So let's start with the further other topic. With the new topic is principle of lending. As some student asked some doubts in the yesterday class, which I will discuss with you in the Saturday or Sunday class. Basically, in Saturday or Sunday class, I will discuss your doubts with some specific case studies so that your doubts will be cleared. That's why I will not discuss your doubts in the today's class, because it creates disturbance in the topic. Because yesterday class regarding is with respect to the charges and today's class is with respect to the principle of lending. So we will wait 1 or 2 minutes so that other students can also join. I will make a separate PPT of all your doubts and we will discuss in the Saturday class. In every week, we will discuss first of all your doubts in the Saturday class, and after that we will cover further topic. If time left, otherwise we will cover only doubts in the Saturday class. And we will discuss specific MCQs. So we will take Saturday class for the doubts and MCQs classes. And for further 2 to 3 weeks, your class timing is 8 to 9. So you can join sharply at 8 p.m. so that we can continue without wasting any time. So let's start our today's class with the principle of lending. Anyone know what is the meaning of principle of lending and what are the steps of principle of lending? Anyone know? Important topic, because in this topic we will further discuss also some non-fund based limits like bank guarantee, LC. Anyone know what is LC? LC, what is LC? Bank guarantee is basically BG. What is LC? How many of you regarding what is LC? LC is, it is letter of credit. BG is bank guarantee. So, can we start? So, let's start our today's class. First of all, we can discuss what are basic principle of lending, and after that we will discuss some technical terms like bank guarantees and letter of credit. And we will discuss questions regarding this and one more topic, working capital, in the tomorrow's lecture. So basically the main source of funds for a banker is deposits from the public. So basically, like every bank give loan to their customers, and the money is also belong from the public. Loan is distributed to the public by the public money. So basically this is the function of the bank. So the main source of funds for a banker is deposits from the public, which are repayable whenever demanded by the depositors. So the main source of funds for a banker is basically deposits as from the public and which are repayable whenever demanded by the depositors. So the banker while lending should therefore follow the sound principles of lending and should assess the permissible limits of finance on the basis of accepted norms. As basically this is basically means lending basically means loan. Whenever banker doing any lending, basically whenever bank doing any loan, then they can follow certain principles so that money can be repayable or money can be back, because this money belongs to the public. Previous slide is nothing. Basically in the previous slide we will discuss what we will discuss in the today's class. We will discuss here only topics. So there are some cardinal principles or main principles of lending. So the business of lending, sorry, the business of lending is not without certain inherent risk. Basically, lending involves some risks, especially when the lending banks depend largely on the borrowed funds. The cardinal principles of lending are basically, which of the following are the cardinal principles of lending are? First is safety. Second one is liquidity, safety. Second one is liquidity. Third one is profitability. Fourth one is purpose. Fifth one is diversification of risk, and sixth one is the security. Basically, these are the some general principles of lending, and we will discuss in the today's class what are these principles. Anyone know what is the meaning of safety in the lending, in the principle of lending? What is the meaning of safety? Safety basically means security. Secured. Then what is the difference between safety and security? Like many of you answer, safety basically means security. Then what is the difference between safety and security? Then why they will take two different points? So we will discuss further. Inherent risk means, anyone know what is the meaning of inherent risk? Inherent risk. What is the meaning of this? Please explain if anyone know what is the meaning of inherent risk. Inherent like unavoidable risk or unavoidable risk like or any basically unexpected risk. This is inherent risk. And so what is the meaning of liquidity, profitability? We will discuss one by one in the upcoming slide. So first of all, we will discuss what is the meaning of safety. So safety first. All students who are preparing for GIB, they can expect 3 questions from this chapter. Basically, lending, principle of lending. We will cover half lecture today and half in the tomorrow's class. So 3 to 4 marks question. And 1 question directly from the letter of credit, 1 mark question. And I will discuss that question with you. And most probably this question will be asked in your exam. First of all, what is safety? Safety first is the most important principle of good lending. When a banker lends certain monies, he has to ensure that the advances is safe. Basically, when a banker lends some money, he has to ensure that the money goes in the safe hands, that the advance is safe, and that the money lent will come back, and what they have lent to the customer, that money will be come back. While banks are no doubt traders in money, that is the money lent does not belong to them but to the public. This is important point, many times asked in your exam. Basically, bankers are traders in money doing the lending, because the money does not belong to the bankers, it is belong to the public. So the money does not belong to them but to the public, that is the depositors. The banker is a custodian of public funds. Basically, the banker is a custodian of public funds and lends money which have been entrusted to his care by the depositor and which is to be repaid in accordance with the tenure of the deposit. Basically, here means what is the meaning of tenure here? Like which is to be repaid in accordance with the tenure of the deposit. Basically, the customer deposit money in the bank and some customer deposit money in their saving account and some converted them into the term deposit. So basically in the saving account, they whenever they can withdraw, and in the term deposit, the time is defined. So further, the repayment of loans depend upon the borrower. How we can depend the repayment of the loans? Basically, it depends upon the borrower's capacity to pay. It depends upon the borrower capacity to pay. Second is willingness to pay. And third is the income generation. Most important is income generation. How much income is generated from that business where we are lending. The banker must therefore take utmost care in ensuring that the enterprise or business for which a loan is sought is a sound one, and the borrower is capable of carrying it out successfully. For which a loan is sought and is a sound one. Sound one, what is the meaning of a sound one is? That the loan is sought is a sound one. What is the meaning of sound one here? Please participate. Sound one means basically a good party that has the capacity to repay the loan, and the borrower is capable of carrying it out successfully. Good capacity to pay it back. 100% right. So then is second point is liquidity. What is the meaning of liquidity? It is to be seen that the money lent is not going to be locked up for a long time. Basically, the money which has to be lent is not going to be locked up for a long time. The money should return to the bank as per the repayment schedule. Like sometimes we can lend to that type of customer where we can expect, where we can have very less chances of getting the money back. So first of all, we should choose a good party, and the money lent is not going to be locked up. And it has to be the return to the bank as per the repayment schedule. Basically, your monthly installments. About 70% of the deposits collect are repayable within a year, so that the funds advanced should be used for working capital and not for the term loans of about 3 years. So anyone know what is the meaning of working capital? Basically, we should advance funds for the working capital and not for the term loans. Term loan like the housing loan, and these types of loans are known as the term loan, long-term loan. Like housing loan are for 20 years, 15 years, like that. Basically, we should finance for mainly the working capital. The art of banking consists of knowing the difference between a mortgage and a bill of exchange. Bill of exchange we will discuss when we will discuss check, and mortgage we will already discussed in the yesterday class. So hope liquidity is clear. Basically, liquidity means money lent is not going to be locked up for a long time. Why I will discuss this point? Because when you are appearing from the JIB exam, these points are directly asked in your exam in the form of 0.5 marks question. So they will ask what is the meaning of liquidity in the principle of lending, and they will directly take some point from this paragraph. I will discuss working capital after these 6 lending principles. What is the meaning of working capital? What is the exactly meaning of the working capital, which we will use in banking sector? Third one is profitability. A fair return on investment is essential, so also in the case of lending by a bank. A fair return of investment basically means profitability. How much we can get profit or how much we can earn profit. So banks are commercial organizations, and profit earning is the motto of banks to pay adequate dividend to the stakeholders. A fair return on investment is essential. So also in the case of lending by banks, banks are basically the commercial organization, and their main motto is to earning profit. Why? To pay the adequate dividend to their shareholders or stakeholders. Here one doubt from one student, sir, why we used bill of exchange? I will discuss bill of exchange and I will discuss why we use this term here. There basically they know that simple indirect way line. The art of banking basically consists of knowing the difference between a mortgage and a bill of exchange. This is not related with that one. I will discuss, then we will relate. Not exactly, this is basically different one. The interest margin, basically from where bank can get profit, the difference in the interest between the deposits and the lending is the basically profit of bank. Profit is equal to interest of lending minus interest of deposit. So the interest margin of 3 to 4% between the lending and borrowing is essential to meet their administrative expenses. While looking at the profitability, it is prudent for a banker to look at the overall profitability from all business undertaken for a customer instead of applying the test of profitability against each component of business or service offered separately. Basically, overall profitability. The main motive of the banker is to get the overall profitability. Possibly, a banker may not earning a desirable return on a service undertaken for a customer, while he may be more than compensated in respect of another service or business undertaken for the same customer. Basically, we have not expect every time the profit, because service is also our main motive. This is the main motive of the PSPs. Public sector banks. The main motive of public sector banks, why they are nationalized, basically they are nationalized to service the people of our country, to save the money of public, not to earn the profit. Anyone know first time when banks will be nationalized, and how many banks nationalized first time, and under the which prime minister first time banks are nationalized, and how many banks are nationalized? Please respond fast. Very basic question. "14 banks are nationalized, and in which year and under the which prime minister?" Like correct one, in 1969, 14 banks are nationalized under the leadership of former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, Srimati Indira Gandhi. And after that, when is the second time nationalization of banks? Second time when nationalization is done. And how many banks at that time? Yes, in 1980, nationalization again took place and 6 banks are nationalized. Under the leadership of which prime minister? So under the leadership of which prime minister? Not Rajiv Gandhi is not the prime minister of India in 1980. Yes, under the leadership of Indira Gandhi, Srimati Indira Gandhi. Because Rajiv Gandhi became prime minister after the death of the Srimati Indira Gandhi in 1984. So next one is, what is the purpose? This is what is the purpose of lending. Loan for undesirable and speculative purposes cannot be granted. Basically, we can never grant loan for the undesirable or speculative purposes. Although the earnings on such business activities may be higher, even then a bank cannot resort to these loans. So we can carefully understand, because even when there are earnings on such business activities may be higher, even then a bank cannot resort to these loans. Next one is diversification of risks. It is also important how we can diversify the risks. It means that the banker should not grant advances to only a few business houses. It means that the banker should not grant advances only to a few business houses, undertakings or cities or industries or regions. It should be ensured that the advances are diversified in a good number of customers. Advances are diversified in a good number of customers. So this is our explanation. Advances are diversified in a good number of customers. So I will discuss one latest news, basically of yesterday news. RBI doing a press conference regarding the monetary policy, and all of the interest rates, basically like the repo rate, reverse repo rate, are to be same. Anyone know what is repo rate and reverse repo rate present? How much percentage basically it is going of repo rate and reverse repo rate? Because yesterday RBI do one important thing, that they enhance the limit of basically of payment banks from 1 lakh to 2 lakh. From 1 lakh to 2 lakh. Yesterday. And they also give permission to do RTGS and NEFT services to these payment banks. Earlier we cannot do NEFT or RTGS. Now they can allow NEFT or RTGS from these payments banks also. As what is the reason given by the RBI to enhance this limit and also giving these benefits like RTGS or NEFT? What is the reason behind given by the RBI? Why they will do this step? Anyone know why will they do this? What is the reason behind that? Please respond. Why RBI focused on these payments banks? As earlier, NEFT or RTGS services only provided by the banks. Now they can give option to these payment banks. Don't know. Please try to read the newspapers. Basically banking news. Very, very important question. Why they enhance the limit? Basically the reason they can say that to enhance the digital transactions. That's why they can provide RTGS NEFT basically services to these payment banks, and that's why they can also enhance the limit from 1 lakh to 2 lakh. The reason is basically to promote digital transactions. So please listen RBI conference after every 2 months. Basically they can hold a press conference in the first week of basically bi-monthly. So let's move to the last point, is security. So here you can clearly know the difference between the safety and security. The security offered against the loan may consist of a large variety of items. Safety basically different means security means what we can kept as a security against the loan. It may be a plot or land or building, flat, shop, ornaments, insurance policies, shares, debentures, bonds, etc. All these things are to be kept as a security. There may be cases when there is no security except the personal security. There are some cases when there is no security except the personal security. So the banker must realize that it is only a caution to fall back upon in case of need. So basically these securities are taken only for the loan security, like that when the borrower are not able to pay their loan, then they can act upon these securities. The security and its adequacy alone should not form the sole consideration for judging the suitability of a loan. Of course, the security, if accepted, must be adequate and readily marketable, easy to handle and free from encumbrances. What is the meaning of encumbrances? Very, very important term. What is encumbrances? Encumbrances. No litigation pending. Please participate. What is the meaning of encumbrances? Not knowing, not disputable. Only 3 to 4 students participate, the rest not participate. This is not beneficial then, because participation is must. Because I will know encumbrances mean, like some students say, means not under any other loan or under security. Yes, this is the direct exact meaning, that the thing or article which we can kept as a security is not under any other security. Like जैसे I will speak in Hindi so that you can clearly more understand. जैसे कि आपने कोई व्हीकल लिया है, सॉरी व्हीकल नहीं, जैसे कि आपने बैंक से लोन लिया, देन उसके विद रिस्पेक्ट तो आपने क्या कर दिया, अपनी कोई चीज गिरवी रख दी। आपने जो चीज गिरवी रखी है उसके ऊपर वो चीज जो गिरवी रखी है, जैसे कि आपने घर गिरवी रख दिया, बैंक से लोन लिया, उसके विद रिस्पेक्ट टू आपने घर गिरवी रख दिया। बट इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि जो आपने घर गिरवी रखा वो भी घर भी लोन पे लिया हुआ, क्योंकि उस वो घर भी लोन पे लिया हुआ वो चीज नहीं है। अगर वो घर गिरवी रख दिया मतलब वो घर पे भी कोई लोन चल रहा है, वो बेसिकली क्या होगा, इनकम्बेंसेस होगा। मतलब वो फर्दर कहीं ना कहीं सिक्योरिटी की ओर रखा गया, क्योंकि अगर घर पे लोन लिया गया तो घर के पेपर उधर भी हैं। समझ आ रहा ना? तो उस पर कोई भी इनकम्बरेंसेस नहीं होनी चाहिए। मतलब जो आप चीज रख रहे हो, नॉट अंडर एनी अदर लोन और अंडर एनी सिक्योरिटी। दिस इज द मीनिंग ऑफ इनकम्बरेंसेस। यू कैन आस्क मैक्सिमम डाउट्स so that you can clear your topic. So what is the meaning of particular word? Hope all 6 principles clear to all of you. If anyone student has any doubt in any other word, then you can ask. Yes, sure. Encumbrances, basically it means not mortgage should be from any other financial institutions. That the instrument or the thing is to not mortgage from any other financial institution. This is the meaning of encumbrances. Hope it clears to all of you, so that we can move further. So let's go to the next slide. So now I will discuss